Where's the cheese? It's under the sauce. Well, not in this case, because this is a placenta. And if you're a pregnant person who has anxiety, this is not the video for you. The placenta basically acts as a parasitic endocrine organ, and it's not your organ, it's the fetus's. And here's a fun fact, the placenta arises from primarily male genes. So when the sperm and egg get together, it's the male's genes that make this structure. And let me be frank, if this was part of any other process in your body, you would want it removed immediately because it is one nasty customer. The womb sucker 5000's whole job is to steal as much nutrition and oxygen from you as possible. Surely there's some kind of mechanism that keeps it from wrecking up the place. Well, yes, there is. It's called the endometrium, and you're going to have a completely new appreciation for this tissue after this video. This pink layer right here is called the myometrium. This is the muscular layer of the uterus. It's where contractions come from. This thin white layer is a proliferative tissue known as the endometrium, meaning it's on the inside. The endometrium is also the tissue that exits the body during your period. But when it comes to the placenta, it is your shield and protector because as this approaches, it has an army of cells called the trophoblasts, and they will digest the endometrium, basically converting it into a tissue called the decidua. Join the dark side, endometrium. Oh, hell no! Big P better stay out of here! Here's a more zoomed in picture of that so you can see it a little better. The placenta is invading, and the endometrium basically sets up a defense and is just like, nope. But sometimes there's a problem with the endometrium, or the placenta can be particularly aggressive. When that happens, you can end up with placenta accreta. That is where it invades beyond the endometrium and actually enters the muscular layer of the uterus. That's bad. I know this doesn't look like it's in there very far, but you have to remember the placenta is highly vascularized. And so when this detaches, it can cause a disastrous amount of bleeding. Placenta accreta is the next step up. It's just more invasion of the placenta into the uterine layer. Placenta praecreta is the really nasty one. And that's because it has now grown all the way through the muscular wall of the uterus and has access to the outside. It can now invade things like your abdominal wall, your bladder, or any of the other structures or organs found in your pelvis and abdomen. Thankfully, this is a very rare condition affecting less than 1% of pregnancies. But there are risk factors. If you've had endometrial ablation or a previous C-section, it increases your odds of having this complication. If you didn't listen up top and you watched to this point and now you're worried, please know that this is noticeable, observable on an ultrasound, so they can screen for it. And knowing about this is not like G.I. Joe. It's not half the battle. It's all the battle. This is just one of the many reasons that pregnancy can be insanely dangerous, and thus it should always be a choice. As always, thanks for learning with me, and if you've got a question, you know what to do.